Okay, so I'd like to start with a small demonstration. I'd like some volunteers. Okay, one, like five. Okay, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, all right. I was like halfway already up here, and then you started choosing. I was like, better pick.
Okay, so okay, sweet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I picked 5. Yeah, okay, sweet. You're there. Okay, so what we're gonna have some. Wait, is this on?
Look at it. Is it
Let's. Yeah, it's on.
okay, and then just look it.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna play a little game. Okay, and the game. Would you like to play a game? Okay. So in this game, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I'm not gonna tell you what that question is at the moment, but I want you to answer it by, think of it that this is a networking session, you're introducing yourself, and you're answering this icebreaker question, okay? So in your introduction, say, hi, my name is, I'm from, and this is the name of my company. Just that, and the answer to the icebreaker question. So let's just do like a quick dry run here, okay? So this isn't the actual icebreaker question, but let's say the icebreaker question is, what's your favorite color? Okay, so this is just a dry run, people, okay? So let's do it. First with you.
My name's Larissa Taylor. I'm from Arizona. My business is Taylor.
Okay, next.
My name's Tanner Seehausen. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm a handyman, and my favorite color is...
Okay.
I'm just
Okay. Okay.
Spoiler, I'm a color, and my favorite color is
I like that. Good answer. Good answer. Okay, so now we're going to go into the actual question, okay? Even though this was kind of like a good example of what I'm about to share. But so the actual question is the same thing, but the question is, have you ever pranked someone, or have you been pranked? Okay, so it's the same thing, like what's your name, the name of your business, where you're from, and then you're answering this question. Have you been pranked, or have you ever pranked someone? Okay, go ahead.
My name's Larissa Taylor, Tailored Wellness. I'm from the Valley of Arizona. I have been pranked. I haven't seen all of my things.
Okay, awesome. Okay, you're up. You're up.
I'm Tanner Seehausen. I'm from Minnesota. Seehausen's Remodels, and yes, I pranked my father when I was young. Grow up on him.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
It was my mom's doing. She said that he was to blame for not getting out of bed and taking care of me.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Oh, he got out of bed.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you're up.
Hi, my name is happened. My water bottle that after they shoveled their driveway, and I don't like opposite, and I realized it.
Oh my God. Ooh, that is nasty.
And that's why she does.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, you're up. You're up.
Hi guys, I'm Ty. I love one of my
Nice. Nice. Okay, you're up.
my name is Lance Euler. I'm a Salt Lake. Thought it was
That's wrong.
Okay, awesome. So,
Really hope not.
okay, so I just want you guys to like shout out like who you thought was most memorable based on what they said. Who do you think? Okay, Dave, what do you think?
Tasha.
Tasha? Okay. The P? Okay. Thank you. So can we give our volunteers a warm round of applause for participating? Thank you, guys. You can go back to your seat. Thank you. Okay, so the reason that we did that is because, we're going to be talking, do I need to do this? Okay. We're going to be talking about storytelling because stories are memorable and they matter. Why? Because they're memorable. And basically, interesting stories are the ones that are most remembered. I think I demonstrated that pretty clearly. Most of the stories were pretty interesting. And interesting stories have power and impact, as you've all experienced right here firsthand. Now, it also happens that interesting storytellers are remembered, because now whenever you go out there and you see one of these brave souls that stood before you and bared their soul to you, you're going to remember something very specific about them. And you're going to want to get them, you will want to get to know them a lot better, because now they've etched themselves in your memory. So the more interesting you are, the more successful you are. Effective storytellers even get elected. And that's a trend of the various people that have been elected, some several times over. So it just goes to show that I really want for everyone to think about the stories that you say and how you're talking about yourself. Okay? So a small little introduction, who I am, where I'm from. So I'm from this tiny village in India you probably never heard of, called Mumbai. Not to be confused with Dubai, where we've done a lot of work with various investors and VCs and worked with the royal family there and a few others. And this is the home of Bollywood, the dances and all that. I'm not a dancer. It's crowded like you wouldn't believe. It's like Times Square on every street corner. And a little bit about me. I'm a single dad. These are my two little kids. That's Smoke. And that's Sky. And I'm also an award winner. That's me winning the Minority Business of the Year award in New York City in the company of two giants, MTA and Con Edison. And then I'm also known as the Assassin, as you guys already know, because we assassinate scandal and negativity from Google Social. And we can basically get rid of anything bad that's out there, like a mean tweet or a bad review or a photo or a video or anything like that, anything nasty. And we're also assassinating marketing mediocrity by elevating clients out of obscurity, by getting them to speak at the United Nations, be an Amazon bestselling author, a podcaster, and many other exciting things. Now, one of my claims to fame is I helped Unilever get into the Guinness Book of Records for their most successful campaign till date, which was Lipton, the launch of Lipton green tea in India. And we basically made the world's largest jigsaw puzzle that engaged 300,000 active users every single day for 6 months. And even though that was dope and amazing and we got a lot of press, but what really mattered was that the product sold out nationally in retail and wholesale twice, back to back, which had never happened ever for Unilever in any market, much less one of the most hardest markets, India, because of the population and diversity and saturation and all that. So the campaign was super successful because of, the message. It was really simple, fresh, visibility. It was seen everywhere. It was really easy to understand. And the trust factor, because everyone was raving about it, press was talking about it, it was covered by the news and everything like that. So this is basically, what good online visibility looks like, and this is just a quick scan. Obviously, I'm not going to go through it, but you basically just need to have a good website, you need to be on social, you need to have earned media, people need to be talking about you, speaking about you, stuff like that. And then these are a few examples of how we've helped clients dominate Google by being seen multiple times on page one. And basically, if you're the only one the client sees, guess what happens? You're going to be the one they call, right? So that's basically the outcome that we deliver time and time again for clients. And then same thing on YouTube. The number 2 search engine, dominate that too. The client is the only one the audience sees. And then phone stops ringing. So I'm not bragging, but I do know what success looks like, right? And I'm here to tell you how you don't need to chase success, but make success chase you. You might be thinking, huh? So success chases when people see you as a thought leader or as an influencer, right? So being an Amazon best-selling author, Spotify top 10 podcast, makes customers see you as an expert or a thought leader. These are one of many ways. And then when you speak on the Super Bowl of stages like the United Nations, your customers see you as an expert and then demand that you work with them. And of course, they're going to chase you and demand you that you accept their money. Please take my money, please. It's going to be like that. And then when your customers, and basically your customers insist that you take their money and that you choose them, and that's the goal, because you then cherry pick who you'd like to work with, and that's actually a great vantage point to be at. So on Feb 14th, 2020, I spoke at the United Nations. And I was speaking on solving homelessness by leveraging coaching and technology. Now, I want this to be a little bit more interactive. I want you to say, then what? Then what? I'm going to tell you. Thank you for asking. And then the country of Malawi in Africa demanded that I help them solve child homelessness in Malawi. And of course, it was good to be asked by a country, but it also resulted in a $300,000 deal with the government of Malawi to help them deliver that outcome, achieve that outcome, though, of course, it is an ongoing work. So the goal, of course, is to do good work, make the world a better place, and get paid. That's right. Can we all say that? Get paid.
Get paid.
Thank you. You're a great audience. Thank you. And then this is Ambassador Molande, who's been an amazing partner with the government of Malawi that I've been collaborating with. She's absolutely fantastic to work with. And in fact, one of the things that I'm working with them is introducing technology, because that was part of my initial address at the United Nations, to introduce technology, introduce new thinking, introduce innovation. And this is one of my businesses, Rocketer. It's a software, it's a process management system. And of course, the clients love how simple it is and how it's just real easy to see where you are, where you want to go, what's next. And it's really simple. So clients really like that. And they really like how their team is super focused on exactly what to do, has a clarity to take action when they're supposed to take action, and that results in stuff getting done, shit getting done, on time, on budget, sometimes ahead of time as well, which is key. And they also like the fact that we have exceptional customer support, since we have a human-first approach. We're the only company that you can send a text message and you get an answer immediately, which other tech companies don't do as much of, because they're trying to be low touch, we're trying to be high touch. Because we're really trying to get actively involved with the lives of our users, because we're telling them, hey, we give a damn. We care, we really care. So that's why we're doing it like this. And the Minister Sendiza, who is in charge of youth affairs in Malawi. So Malawi as a country is 50% youth. So the minister that handles youth is a very, very important there. A very, very important person in that government. So she loved all of my bold, innovative ideas of how I was going to institute, foreign direct investment, capital funding to invest in infrastructure in Malawi by leveraging many of the contacts that we have with family offices, the royal family, and many other places like that in connections that we have in America, Europe, Asia even, and of course, the Middle East and Dubai. And they also like how easy it is to use. They just love working with us. They love the revenue share opportunity, and they just love and they're recommending it. They're recommending that Malawi is going to adopt it. They're recommending that other nations near Malawi are going to be adopting it, as well as their partners in North Africa, as well as in the Middle East. So, which is obviously a great achievement, but also it's about making the world a better place and enabling for good things to happen fast. So think about what you want to say. Think about it. I really mean that. Put a lot of thought into it. Put a lot of intention into it. Like our brave volunteers that stood before you, that bared their soul. So please, I mean that. I really mean that. So be really intentional about it, because when you do, people will look up to you. They will. So,
I think that's good.
yeah, you get the award for stating the obvious. Thank you, sir. Well done.
I love that picture, though. That picture was very good.
Awesome, yeah.
Maybe must love.
Thank you. Yeah. So basically the summary is that interesting stories are remembered. Interesting storytellers are remembered, of course. The most interesting you are, the more successful you're likely to be. Success chases the people who are seen as thought leaders and influencers. And of course, an influencer includes but not limited to being an Amazon best-selling author, Spotify top 10 podcaster, United Nations speaker, etc. And then, of course, I was talking about being really intentional about what you say, and you really should, because when you don't, you could lose it all. Like Mr. Smollett here, who claimed certain things in Chicago. And of course, he's kind of come out of that, but I'm just saying that you should be really careful about what you say and put out there, because it could bite you in the ass. And then now all of us know about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, what happened there. And they said that she shit the bed, right? Right? That's what they said. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. They said it. And maybe if she had hired us, we would have cleaned it up from the internet. Maybe not clean the shit off the bed, but at least like clean the shit off the internet, because that's kind of like what we do, getting rid of the bad. And maybe things would have turned out differently for her, because part of getting rid of the bad is because people see what's on the internet and make a snap judgment without going one step further. If they see something bad, they think immediately the worst of you and think that you're public enemy number one, and then just automatically don't want to do business with you, don't want to negotiate with you or anything like that, and then will even advocate for others to do the same. And that's obviously a terrible thing, right? So so basically nobody wants to risk having a bad experience. And that's basically why you really need to look out and see what's out there. And one bad review costs businesses $15,000 to $50,000 a year in lost revenue per each customer lost, and that's based on the Bright Local study. And then basically, don't let the haters destroy your business. Don't let the haters destroy your marriage. Don't let the haters destroy your finances. Don't let the haters destroy your peace of mind. And also limit your ability in closing deals and doing good work. So I recently spoke at Columbia University. I mean, I'm from New York, but yeah, I spoke at Columbia University recently. I speak there pretty often. And I said, Google yourself. Please, Google yourself. because it's not vanity. Because earlier, when you would say Google yourself, you're like, oh, let me see what's out there. It's not vanity, it's clarity. You know why? Because when you Google yourself, you can find out what's out there that's connected to you. Because guess what? Your customers are already doing it, and you want to get ahead of that 8 ball, right? So you definitely want to Google yourself, right? So Google yourself, people are already doing it, so you might as well know what's out there. And ignorance is not bliss. So you really need to know what's out there so that you can take action. So of course, yeah, if you need help, obviously hire the assassin, but more importantly, please Google yourself to find out what's out there. And all of us want success, right? That's why we're here, obviously. And then, so what's stopping us? And basically what's stopping us are these 3 main things: having a clear message, being visible, being seen everywhere, having a simple message that everyone gets, ideally in 5 seconds or less, and of course, the trust factor. So when you've established all these 4 things, you're on the roadmap of being successful, and then you will truly be unstoppable. And of course, that's what an online visibility looks like. And yeah, if you need to reach me, that's my info. And I'd like to end with a thought that anything good usually starts on the inside. Just like, for example, if you have an egg and it breaks because that's out for an outside force, but when a chick is coming alive, it breaks from the inside out. So when something breaks from the inside out, going outwards, that's when life begins. And I think that there's greatness in each and every one of you. And you know what? It's time to let the world find out. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! Thank you so much. And you've been an amazing audience. Can we all give everyone a warm round of applause for being epic? Thank you. Awesome.
All right. Let's I want to have a conversation.
Okay, sweet.
So, how did you get the United Nations presentation? I think a lot of people are very unfamiliar with speaking. I think most people come in and go, yeah, I want to speak. I want to get on stage and make money. And that's like one of the most least common ways to actually get paid and then step on stage. Usually you're speaking to sell or paying to get that spot and sharing everything you got. And that's been my main model over the years. So yeah, is it kind of the same thing with the United Nations, that there's a pay to play type thing?
To a degree, yes. To a degree.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay.
How you got that originally.
Okay.
Led up to that.
Okay, so I'll give you the short answer and the slightly longer answer, if that's okay. The short answer is, how did I get there? By being awesome. Okay, so that's the short answer. The slightly longer answer is that my company, Rsquare Media, we've partnered. We have a deep focus on coaching and mentoring, and we've been doing that for 10 plus years. And part of that allowed us to partner with New York State Department of Labor, and we worked with at-risk youth. And that was extremely eye-opening experience because, at-risk youth are a segment of the population that many people overlook and disregard entirely. And then working with them gave me a very rich and deep eye-opening experience that somebody who feels unappreciated, somebody who feels disenfranchised, if you can give them, channel some guidance, some focus, some motivation, give them some structure and encouragement with a little empathy and a little understanding, incredible things are possible. Absolutely incredible. And that work got on the radar of the United Nations, and they thought that I was qualified to speak on mindset and to speak on solving for homelessness by leveraging the mindset experience. Because homelessness, of course, is a very chronic endemic issue that has like various components, and mindset, of course, is a significant component of it, mental health. And given working with at-risk youth, gave me firsthand knowledge of what that looks like and how to solve for it. So that was the main reason why they selected me to speak at the UN. And of course, the other part of the reason was someone in my network connected me to someone at the UN. So that's how I kind of found my way to the UN. So, Travis, just like you say, it's not it's not what you know, it's who you know. And of course, when you marry the what with the who, magic happens.
How long? And so you gave this presentation. Did you intend to try to get a contract with a country, or did that just kind of more fall in your lap, and then you're like, oh, there's something here? So kind of tell us about the segue from the presentation all the way to.
Yeah. So I will say that when I spoke at the United Nations, it was on my bucket list. I always had a dream, and it's sort of like I think part of the experience here is you got to be vulnerable, right? So I kind of stole that dream from someone. So there was actually I was working with one of my mentees, and she said, Rajiv, I have a dream. Like I said, whoa, what's your dream? I want to speak at the United Nations. Then I heard that, I was like, United Nations? I like that, United Nations. And 2 months later, I was speaking at the United Nations. So the point is, please dream big, hint, hint. Yeah. Dream big, because when you dream big, stuff will happen. And yeah, so that's basically, so that's kind of like, how it started with the United Nations, but I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was the question?
Yeah, so then it led into that contract with the
Yeah,
country.
thank you.
So tell us a little bit about that process and what you learned.
Thank you. So basically, thank you. So the speaking at the United Nations was a dream of mine. I had gone there to speak because I always wanted to speak. I didn't have a clue as to if anything was going to happen, and it just so happened that it was the perfect situation of being at the UN, delivering a message that resonated with everyone there, and then people saying, yes, that was a great speech, that's obviously was a win, but then after that a country saying, listen, I want to work with you. Please, can you please work with me? And when the country said that, I was like, hell yeah, of course, all day long, baby. Obviously, I didn't say all day long, baby, but I said, hell yeah, and that's basically how I got working with the country of Malawi and other countries like Ghana as well, who I'm working with on another project for empowering the female youth there with a lot of, infusing a lot of technology-based coaching. So yes, I didn't go there initially with an agenda, but my agenda was basically just to deliver a message with passion and empathy. A lot of what you're sharing here, Travis, and I think when you speak with that passion, people really connect with you. And then they obviously want to work with you. You then become that force that they are attracted to. And that's basically how that happened.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions?
Questions? I am.
How long was the contract for?
It's an ongoing
It's
contract.
an ongoing contract, so
Yeah.
is it every year or every year renewed? Or?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's, we're here to solve homelessness. Obviously, it's not going to get done in 3 years or even 6 years or 10 years. So, it's an ongoing project, which is awesome to have. And of course, that creates like a lot of opportunity to touch the country in a variety of ways, like infrastructure development, building homes, building bridges, building infrastructure like trains and public utility installations like airports, stuff like that. So it's really, really interesting because it touches everything. It's like homelessness means you're empowering people with information, and that creates more opportunity. You have a question?
Yeah, I'm just changing topics. That's with Google. Like the AI or what have you found to test break those, not just.
Yeah, so when it comes to AI, I think we have some AI experts here, but obviously like the process is you need to build a language model that best suits you. You need to you need to build a custom GPT that knows your brand voice and then have that develop content for you on your behalf so that it's consistent with your cohesive message. That's obviously one thing that you want to do. And this, when you do so and your message lands and is cohesive, much like what Travis has been sharing all day, then there's a far higher likelihood that you're going to get 5-star reviews and continue to get 5-star reviews because your content is now relevant. And then the AI knows it as well, and users of the AI that are querying for information are then going to find that content, and for that content to be recommended in the AI suggestions, because it's obviously pulling from the internet. And if your content is highly ranked on the internet, then it's high likely that your content is then going to be part of people's queries, which is then going to find its way. So from an discoverability standpoint, I mean, that's something that I would do to enable that.
Content that our article, video,
Yeah.
pictures. Right now it's
Yeah.
media.
Yeah, what's the secret sauce?
Yeah,
That's what you're asking, yeah. So the Google algorithm changes every 3 months, okay? And that's what makes it a little bit hard to predict, but they do publish, what they're looking for. And basically what they're looking for is high domain authority content from high domain authority, which means from newspapers, from press, from social that has a high amount of engagement and comments and that sort of thing. So basically, if you're creating a lot of PR on yourself and you have Forbes and New York Times and Yahoo and stuff like that speaking about you, and that's all earned media, then that is going to get you to the top of Google and pretty much keep you there. So I would kind of focus on that while also creating quality content so that gets indexed to be the top on that platform as well. So you want to have videos that show up high on YouTube, of course, number 2 search engine, as well as on TikTok and Facebook, because all these search engines and all these socials have search fields, which means that it's built for people to find content. So you need to be discoverable and findable on those platforms as well. So I would kind of like really focus on that.